Call Me By Your Name stars Timothy Chalamet, Armie Hammer, Michael Stuhlbarg and Amira Kassar, and is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who brought us 2015's A Bigger Splash, which is in many ways a pretty uneven film in terms of tone and pacing, but certainly not inadequate. And he also directed I Am Love, which I haven't seen but hear great things. Set in 1983, it tells the story of 17-year-old Italian-American intellectual Elio, played by Timothy Chalamet, whose family regularly visits their 17th century villa in northern Italy for his father's archaeological research, which involves sort of the salvation of ancient sculpturing. Along comes mid-20-year-old grad student Oliver, played by Armie Hammer, who's there for the summer to assist Elio's father with his research, and although Elio at first kind of despises Oliver a little bit due to his sort of overconfidence, and Elio kind of sees him as arrogant, the two just kind of become closer and closer, and Elio's sort of cultured and sophisticated yet naive and hormonal nature, coupled with Oliver's sort of higher maturity level and more life experience, makes for some of the most emotionally charged and truly charming chemistry that I have seen on film in a long time. I think what makes Call Me By Your Name so special is that it is one of the most immersive movies ever put to cinema. Watching it just authentically feels like you're on holiday in the summer of northern Italy, in a way that trashier American films in which the central characters travel abroad cannot capture. This is a movie that isn't afraid to just kind of meander and lull about and just generally chillax. It doesn't concern itself so much on plot and story, but more so just on environment and atmosphere and performance. It would be fundamentally unfair for both Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer to not both simultaneously win Best Lead Actor for this one film. But alas, that would be impossible. I would also be surprised if Stuhlbarg doesn't get a nom for supporting here. But the lack of traditional storytelling only kind of works in the film's favour to further emphasise that sense of environment and atmosphere and love and passion, and the feeling of it being so very much like real life, which, unlike a screenplay, real life isn't all sort of structured accordingly and specifically. Real life is messy and spontaneous and instinctive, and just like this movie, and the immense level of confidence that Guadagnino brings to the screen here in collaboration with his actors make this one of the most beautiful films of the year, maybe even of all time. This is also quite a long film, and in many ways it feels long, just like real life does sometimes, where it's long and meandering, and it's not at all a bad thing for what this film is going for. This will draw a lot of comparisons with 2016's Moonlight, mainly due to it being an auteur piece of awards caliber filmmaking that happens to be about being gay. However, I think Moonlight does just have the slight edge, maybe because there is a distinct sense of conflict in that movie, and it just kind of connected with me and just touched me on a deeper, more personal and relatable level. Another sort of teensy little flaw with the film is that sometimes the dialogue maybe doesn't quite feel as realistic as the film in which it's contained. Just moments where characters are talking maybe doesn't quite feel like how they would talk in real life, which is the complete opposite case with Moonlight. But Call Me By Your Name is an absolute masterwork. There's still several 2017 Oscar contender films that I am yet to see, but right now it stands as my favourite film of the entire year. It's a movie that you really need to just kind of sit back, relax, get comfortable, just go with it, become involved with it, let it literally just wash over you, and it will hit anyone and everyone who's been through maybe like hormonal stages or finding first love. On many occasions throughout, some quite early on, I was literally having to just fight to stop myself from sobbing and heaving, and when the power of cinema can do that on a genuine level, that is just 2 thumbs up and no less than a 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, they are my thoughts on Call Me By Your Name. Let me know whatever the hell you thought of it down below. Compare it to Moonlight. Why not? There's nothing wrong with comparing movies to other movies. I don't see why people avoid doing that or get angry when others do that. But yeah, well, what is your favourite film of 2017 so far? Let me know, and I'll catch you next time.